What's up, y'all? Time for this Breeders' Cup again. Breeders' Cup Classic. $7 million on the line this year. We've got an interesting mix of horses, a lot of international horses, some 3-year-olds, some 4-year-olds in here. $7 million on the line, like I said in the purse. 5:41 Eastern Daylight Time for this one. So let's go ahead and get into this horses. We've got 13 horses in this one. Number one, Japanese horse Forever Young. This one is out of Real Steel. Ryushi Sakai. I'm going with that for the jockey. He's been riding this horse his whole career. Pardon me. Win last out in the Japan Dirt Classic. He did run third in the Kentucky Derby. Before that, he was got a win in the UAE Derby. Lifetime 7-6-0-1 for this horse. He is a good closer. Seemed to like the distance in the Kentucky Derby. He only lost that one by a head. The time was a little bit slower, and I think this is going to end up being a formidable horse, but maybe a bit outclassed for this one. I'm not sure. These Japanese horses haven't quite broken through yet. I think they're knocking on the door. I don't know if one of this year's horses will be one to quite make that breakthrough in the U.S. He did get a win in the UAE Derby. We had a Japanese horse, I think it was in the Saudi Derby, Saudi Cup. So, Forever Young, they got him at 6-1. Ooh, that's way too low, I think, in my opinion. I think those odds will be higher, and I think they should be higher. Decent horse, but this is a tough race. Perhaps the toughest in the world. Number two, Highland Falls, 20-1 on the morning odds out of this one. Horse is out of Curlin. A smart strike horse. Breeders' Cup Classic winner, Awesome Again, was the horse's grandfather on his mother's side. Now, Awesome Again not only won the Breeders' Cup Classic, also sired Ghost Zapper, another Breeders' Cup Classic winner, with the fastest Breeders' Cup Classic time since in the race's history. Strong breeding there. You're looking at a Highland Falls. Now, this horse, 20-1, like I said, ridden by Luis Saez, hasn't ridden this horse before. Flavian Pratt was riding this horse last time. He jumped off of this horse to go back to Sierra Leone. I think that's a mistake for a couple of reasons. We'll get to that when I get to Sierra Leone. Brad Cox, trainer of this one, he got a win in this Breeders' Cup Classic in 2021. Knicks Go. This horse's last out, win in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, Saratoga. Now, 2:03 was the time in that 1.25 miles. Flavian Pratt, like I said, rode him. It was a good race. Strong race for this horse. But you want to see something faster, I think, coming into this one. Plus, you got the jockey change going to Luis Saez. Not that he's bad, but not familiar with the horse. You would kind of want someone that's kind of ridden the horse before. A couple of good workouts coming into this race. A couple of 1-minute breezing times. I like to see that. Before the race, the Jockey Club Gold Cup, he was second in the Monmouth Cup. Before that was a win in the Blame Stakes at Churchill Downs. Florent Giraud riding him there. So there's a lot of jockey changes. Good races for him there. He good competition, a decent competition. Took out Tapit Trace in that Monmouth Cup. Couple races back, he was fourth in the Santa Anita Handicap. Defeated Newgate. Defeated by Newgate in that one. Highland Falls. If you like the long shot, I think maybe there's an angle you can make for this horse. I don't know if I'll really be going this direction, though. Number 3, City of Troy. Horse out of Justify. Justify, I kind of like that. Didn't like that simulated Kentucky Derby where they had Justify running last. Justify, I think you could make a case he's one of the best horses of all time. When you look at the pace he was able to carry out. and the way he was effortlessly able to win. I don't know if the horse was only whipped maybe once or twice his whole career. Anyway, this City of Troy horse, his father was Justified, Triple Crown winner, didn't make it to the Breeders' Cup Classic. They decided to retire him before there. 5-2 morning odds. City of Troy is the morning favorite. I don't think that will hold. I think it will end up being Fierceness simply because Fierceness is an American horse. Ryan Moore's riding this horse. Aidan O'Brien's training this horse. These guys have had some success in the United States here and there. This horse strong, 7-6 lifetime, 7 races run, 6 wins. The only loss, I think, was just the 4th or something like that. Don't quote me on that one. Last out, Juddmonte International Stakes. A 2:04 in 1 mile and 5/16. These races in the UK, these races all on turf. That's the thing you don't like about him. Not only is he international, never run on dirt, even though he is a dirt-bred horse, is bred in Kentucky, bred to, run on dirt. He's never done it before. So, I mean, sure, they're going to work him on dirt. It's a whole new experience for this horse. So that's probably the 5-2 reasoning. This time of a 2:04 in 1 mile and 5/16. Very, very strong. Very, very strong time. Numerically, you might want to say that is a time that's up there with a spectacular bid type of a time. We'll see if it translates. That is why they say on paper, he's got to get out there and actually do it. That's why he's the favorite, I think, is because of that spectacular time in this race. The races before this Coral Echoes, yes. Betfred Derby, he ran in. He's got the wins. No amazing times that I saw in there outside of this last out in this Juddmonte International Stakes. So like I said, we'll see if that time carries over. Going to be riding off of what is probably going to be a pretty hot pace. That's going to require the jockey, and the horse is going to have to be able to handle it. He's going to have to be able to handle the awfully hot pace and be able to take it over. That's what Justify was able to do. So if he's anything like his father, he will be able to handle that. City of Troy, very interesting. I would like him a lot more if he wasn't the favorite, though. We'll have to see how that translates. Number 4, Mixto. Probably going to be pretty aggressive, I think. Kyle Frey riding this horse. Doug O'Neill, the trainer. Horse is out of Good Magic, a curling horse. So you look at the strong 1.25 mile breeding, not super strong, but good 1.25 mile breeding here. 30-1 in the morning odds for good reason. Horse is well raced, 14 lifetime races, only 2 wins, 2 places, 2/3. Last out was a good win though. Pacific Classic, 22-1 odds in that one. Before that, second in the Pleasanton Mile, third in the Santa Anita Gold Cup. So the horse hadn't been doing much. Like I said, 14 races, only had 1 win before going into that Pacific Classic. But nonetheless, he's got the Pacific Classic win. Thus, he's earned the right to be here. I think he's going to be a bit outclassed in this one. He's going to need to look to run it back from this Pacific Classic. If you're looking for a reason to bet him, I mean, Kyle Frey, they just switched him into this horse in the Pacific Classic. Sometimes you get that chemistry, Horse and the jockey just like each other, Sometimes some people just like each other. They met each other the first time and they act like they've known each other for years. You see that in all kinds of relationships. But in with the horse-jockey relationship, it can happen. Sometimes, a jockey just jumps on a horse that hasn't been winning, and he just does well with him, and he does that win. If you want to run that angle back, and that's what you got, the thinking you got with this race, 30-1 odds, or probably what's going to be much more than 30-1 odds, should be a good time to take a stab at it. I'm not sure if I'll be going that route in this one. Not sure if he's really going to have the speed, and I think he's going to be too close to what I think will be a hot pace, like I was saying. That's Mixto. Maybe you'll like him for a long shot. We'll see. Speaking of long shots, one I like a little bit better here. Number 5, Senior Buscador. Mine Shaft horse, which is out of AP Indy, another Breeders' Cup Classic winner. AP Indy, Senior Buscador, 21 lifetime races. Now, 7 wins for this horse, so he's no stranger to the winner's circle. 30-1. They got him in the morning odds. Probably going to be higher. What I like about him, Joel Rosario, new jockey, but he's no stranger to the winner's circle himself. 2 wins in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Knicks Go in 2021. 2018, Accelerate. He got the win. Trainer Todd Fincher, 22% win percentage. Todd Fincher. Now, I didn't know too much about him, so I had to do myself a little bit of mini research here on this Todd Fincher guy. And what do we know about Todd Fincher here? Todd Fincher, he's got wins in New Mexico, Sunland Derby, in and out. I noticed the thing, he only had one season in his career where he was under 22% in the win percentage. Only one. That was his first season. Ever since then, Todd Fincher, over 20% in the win column. And he's over 20% once again. So, I like this guy. Been in New Mexico for a long time, winning, low competition, but just over the past 4 or 5 years or so, probably due to a little bit of the Baffert controversy and stuff, he's been moving into Cali, and he's been getting some shine. He's still maintaining his win percentage into Cali. So now he's got a shot here, Senior Buscador, getting into the Breeders' Cup Classic. How did he get here? Kind of stumbled his way in after a win in the Saudi Cup. Got that win in the Saudi Cup, a 149. Not a great time, but a win nonetheless in a very rich horse race. 3rd in the Dubai World Cup, 4th in the Pat O'Brien, 5th in the California Crown. Joe Talamo riding him there. Junior Alvarado was on him. So they got Joel Rosario on him now. Maybe he likes Joel Rosario. You got to like the way the horse recovered to win that Saudi Cup. A lot of running the horse. You like the trainer. I like the trainer. You got to like the jockey. You're going to like the odds of this horse if you're going to like to go this way. Will he have the speed to put up something? I don't know if it's going to be enough for a win unless this blazing pace falls apart. If the pace falls apart, he might be able to get the win. If not, I think he's going to be a good closer. So you might want to play him in some exotics as well. Senior Buscador, I like as a long shot a lot more than some of the others, I would say. Let's move on here to another Japanese horse, the 6, Derma Sotogake. Japanese horse, we've seen him around some of these races. Derby contender, 20-1 in the morning odds in this one. Christophe Lamari riding him. Blinkers on. What do I say about that? Well, sired by Mind Your Biscuits. You want to see something stronger than that necessary going into this race. 13 lifetime races, 4 wins. Blinkers on. What do I think about blinkers on? To me, that is a sign of desperation. I'm not much of a fan of blinkers on off. Have not seen much that it makes much of a difference when you're looking to pick winners. You know what I mean? I'm sure it makes some difference in their behavior, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't bet on it translating over. If anything, I would say that they are looking for an edge and haven't found it. And that's a sign of a lack of confidence on the behalf of the trainer. So I don't like to see blinkers on, off, blah, blah, blah. I don't like it. Dermot Sotogake, they got him 20-1, like I was saying. 5 to 8, sorry, fifth place, rather, I should say. 8 lengths off in his last out in the Nippon TV High. In Japan, a mile and an eighth, 152. Now I know they run these slower foreign races slow. They run slow in Japan. Japan's like all the way on the east, so it's like the complete opposite of running the way they run in California. I think that's not going to work in his favor. 6th before that Nippon TV High. 16 lengths off in the Dubai World Cup. You want to see something better than that. 5th before that, and that's Cup Saudi. 2nd in the Breeders' Cup Classic before that. 6th in the Kentucky Derby before that one. You got to go way back to last year. Win in the UAE Derby. 3rd in the Saudi Derby before that. You got to like the way these Japanese guys, once they feel they got a championship horse, they keep running him in championship races, even if he's not winning. I mean, you look at it, he came off 3 wins in Japan to go to 3rd in Saudi. Okay, good. Wins in Dubai. Good. Even better, right? Goes to Kentucky. 6th in the Kentucky Derby, right? Hardest horse race to win in the world. Okay. 2nd in the Breeders' Cup Classic. They're in here. They're getting stuff done. He should have run something in between that Derby. For sure. That's a bit cocky to sit your horses. Hey, word out to these Japanese guys, any of y'all that are listening here. You need to get your horses on the track and get some experience in these American races if you want to come up with a big one. Don't just show up thinking you're going to win the Breeders' Cup Classic and stuff. That's just trying to get lucky. Get them into the Travers, get them into the Haskell. Get them experience. Better yet, get them in and get them some win and some grade 2s. That's where you're really going to get your horse some experience and a good chance of getting to win in these big races, because you will get them a chance to get acclimated to that American pace, and then feel good, get some confidence beating up some of these horses before they come out here and get faced with the race of their life unprepared. But enough with telling you how to get the trainers of Dermot Sotogake here, how to win this race. I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off at this point. I think it's too late this time, but for next time, man. Horse does look good with a workout. 59 handily. Workout times, to me, are the worst workout times to use the handicap with. They're the most misleading. However, a 59 handily does register somewhat. It's like a 101 breezing the way I do it, so it is kind of okay. I wouldn't really be looking at this horse too much. Plus, he's going to be too close to the pace, in my opinion. Number 7, another Japanese horse, Ushba Tesoro. 7-year-old horse. We've heard about this horse here and there. I have. 7 years old. Sire is, I had to look this one up for the pronunciation. A French name from a Japanese sire. I had to remember, it's like Favre. Oh, Favre. But it's not Favre. It's like Favre. Oh, Favre. Yeah, I think it's Oh, Favre. That's what I think. Pretty sure that's what it was. Oh, Favre, the sire of this horse. I had to put a lot of research into this. In the definition, by the way, of this Oh, Favre, they said goldsmith or like jeweler, jewelry maker. You never knew you would get this weird French vocabulary lesson in the middle of this video, did you? But you did. Au Favre, however, the sire of this horse, Ushba Tesoro, 7-year-old Japanese horse, Yuga Kawanda, the jockey, 20% win percentage in the U.S. You like to see that 20%, especially for a guy coming over here. Now, granted, when you come over here, he's not running a full circuit. He's running better horses. But that's still decent. 12-1 in the morning odds, too low. I think that's going to be higher. It should be higher. Probably will be higher. 35 races for this horse's career, 11 wins. Not bad, being that they run these horses in a lot of tough races. Second in this Nippon TV High, last out in Japan. Second, 8 lengths off in Dubai. Before that, second in the Cup Saudi by a head behind Senior Buscador. If you want to see a good race, look up that Saudi Cup. Very interesting, thrilling race all the way to the end when Senior Buscador got the rundown for the win there. You want to look that one up on YouTube. Race before that was a win in Tokyo, the Tokyo Daihatsu, and win before that in the Nippon TV, or fifth before that, pardon me, in the Breeders' Cup Classic last year, a win in the Nippon TV High previously last year, and a win in the Dubai World Cup. So this horse got to go down in Japanese horse racing history with that win in the Dubai World Cup, competing in all these big races. Runs back with a second in Dubai, second in Saudi. They're certainly looking for a win. It would certainly be storybook for him to get a win here. However, I don't bet storybook. We don't bet storybook. We bet against storybook here because horse racing is not favorable to storybook. Horse racing is a sport of heartbreakers, all right? So that's more the type thing we look for other than storybook. Respectable horse, I think he will get shaken out by this pace, which I expect to be hot, like I was saying. Number 8, Pyrenees, out of Into Mischief, a 4-year-old, 10 races lifetime, 4 wins, 3 second, 1 third. BJ Hernandez coming up, Derby winner. He's got a win back in 2012 on Fort Larned. I remember that race when he won it. I was like, Fort Larned? Fort Larned? Fort Larned. I mean, BJ Hernandez got the win, though. That's the thing with this Breeders' Cup Classic. Sometimes these off jockeys can get in there. It's such a competitive race, and the pace is going to be who knows what. He's not really an off jockey anymore, though. BJ Hernandez with a win in the Kentucky Derby. Got a win in the Oaks in the same day. So he may be one of those guys like Mike Smith, who was very average for most of his career before he became Big Money Mike, and he was like the bet-on guy. Hernandez, however, in this with Pyrenees, not so sure. Second last out in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. Second in the Stephen Foster. Decent time in that Stephen Foster, the 108. He was 2 lengths off of that one. Winning the Pimlico Special. Not a bad race. Horse looks to be competitive. Definitely in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, he was competitive. Had a 4-race win streak. They're going into that Pimlico Special, 3-race win streak, rather, going into the Pimlico Special. Finished it off with 4. Bounced around, winning it at Keeneland, winning it at Louisiana Fairgrounds, winning at Churchill. So this horse has been around, winning in New York. So now he comes out to Cali. Not always winning, but he's hitting the board. A good horse if you looking to hit the board for an exotic. I definitely like him to hit the exotic, not necessarily to win. Going to be up in the mix, not on the pace, but probably near it, and I don't know if he'll have the resilience to hang out. His last workout, a 49-second breezing, 4 furlong. That's not good, but the thing is, before that he had a 47. Then he had a 59 at 5. And then before that, he had a 46 at 4. Those are all great workout times. Sometimes these trainers come out here and they kind of throw a workout. They don't want the horse going into the big race with too many solid workouts because it brings the price down on the horse, and they want to be able to take advantage of that. So, I'm not saying that's what he did, but that's an angle to look at. It's a possibility that the horse is in great shape. Pardon me, coming into this one, coming off a couple of second places, and then a 4 race win streak. Is it quite possible he hits the board again? Yes, it is. Very, very quite possible. He's working out well. He's done the distance before. 4 wins out of 10 races. That is 40%. That is very strong. Pyrenees, I don't know. 30-1 odds. Gotta like those odds too. I don't know if I like him to win, but he's a strong horse, looking competitive. Number 9. Speaking of competitors, Fierceness, always in it. This horse, championship horse from pretty much day one. He's got championship written all over him. City of Light is his sire, his champion horse. Quality road sire from there. Horse, 3-1 morning odds. He's probably going to be the favorite. Not sure if he's going to go down to being an 8-5 strong favorite, but maybe. Johnny Velasquez, championship jockey, got a win in the Breeders' Cup Classic in 2020 aboard Authentic. Todd Pletcher, championship trainer, win of the Breeders' Cup Classic 2019 Vino Rosso. This horse wins his maiden special weight, 11 win, falls off a little bit, 7th place in the Champagne Stakes, only to come back and get a win in the Breeders' Cup Classic championship there. Takes a race off in the Holy Bull Run in 3rd to come back and get a big win in the Florida Derby by 11 again. It gets mixed up in the Kentucky Derby, not ready for the challenge, but comes back and gets a win for Jim Dandy. You need to tighten it up so he could come back and get a solid win for the Travers. Coming into this race on a 2-race win streak, he broke his little on-again, off-again streak last out in the Travers. He's looking to tighten it up here. He definitely goes down as 3-year-old horse of the year if he gets this win. Will he be able to get the win? It's going to be tough. Fierceness needs the lead. Fierceness needs the lead. He needs to be tough. If he's not on the lead, he needs to be out there in a 46-second opening half mile. It's something about that 46. I just say it's got to be. You got to do that to distance yourself from the field. It's just. I mean, I can't necessarily explain it. It's like the horse racing gods just speak some of these truths to me sometimes, and he's just got to do a 46. And I don't know if he's really going to do that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he is not going to push Fierceness to the lead. They're in Cali. It's not all Cali horses out there, but he's going to be facing that Cali speed. And I think he's going to try to rate this horse on this pace, and I don't think it's going to work. I do not like rating horses on these Cali speed duels. I'm like, yo, if you're going to run, just run. If he can't hang, gets tired, let him fall apart, gets tired. Trying to time it, you got to sit way off that stuff, man. You can't sit way up close to some really fast pace and think you're just going to inch him out. Like, who do you think you got out there? I mean, I can't think of many horses that really were front-running stalkers in history. The stalkers set appropriately off pace always. I never thought of them that really would press the pace and then just push on and really kind of like do a NASCAR using the other horse is like a draft or something. I've never really seen a horse really do that successfully. I don't really think it's a thing in horse racing. I don't really think he's going to be able to do that. But it seems like that's what he tries to do when he doesn't get out there and he's aggressive. It's like he's just trying to rate himself off of a horse that's going to be out there going faster than him. Johnny V does this. I don't know whether Todd Pletcher tells him to do this, or whether Todd's going to be like, just go, just go. We got to remember on Authentic, which I kind of thought that he would get that ride in the Kentucky Derby. We got to remember Todd Pletcher did not train Authentic. Authentic was trained by who? Bob Baffert. Whatever you think about him, he's aggressive. It's no drug in the world that makes the horse, you know, go and get the lead every time. That's the trainer. The trainer trains him to do that. The trainer instructs the jockey to do that. And that is why these Baffert horses you see get the lead so often when he feels that's the best way. He is probably the master of running front runners. That being said, that's not Pletcher's deal. And I don't know that Pletcher's going to tell Johnny, yo, Johnny, do the Baffert thing. We're out here in Cali. Just do the Baffert thing with this horse and get the win. I don't think Todd's going to do that. I think Todd's going to be going back to the New York style and try to rate the horse off the pace and go out there and bust out a win. Whew. I don't want to give away the picks already, but I don't think that's necessarily the strategy for this race. And though Fierceness scares me, and I most likely will have some insurance against him, I'm not necessarily thinking that I can take him for the win. Tough competition. Still, he's got the Pletcher Velasquez. Not going to be much on a money wise unless you're looking exotic, and that's where you got to keep him in the mix. Think about it. Enough about Fierceness though for now, because we will definitely get back to him in a little bit. Next out is up at the 10 Tappet Trice. Another horse that's been around for a while now. Horse sired by Tappet, who was out of Pulpit, an AP Indy horse. We are looking at Dunkirk's on his mother's side. So you're getting some 1.25 miles, certain definite 1.25 miles breeding here with this horse. 30-1 in the morning odds. The reason why the horse hasn't been doing much. I mean, he got a win last out in this Woodward, but a 150, and that was a legitimate pace. So 150 at 1 1/8, not fast enough when you're looking at these other horses. Fourth before that in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, behind Highland Falls and Pyrenees. Won the Monmouth Cup, beating Highland Falls there, but not that great a time. Third in the Travers, fifth in the Haskell, third in the Belmont, seventh in the Kentucky Derby before that last year. His last real win before that it was the Bluegrass Stakes. Winning the Tampa Bay before that, a couple wins before that. He's another case of a horse that I say has been racing against horses that he is outmatched against too much. Sometimes you got to bring it down to a grade 2. Let the horse get his confidence back and get some wins. But when you keep facing horses that you're getting beat by, the horse loses confidence just like a fighter, just like a ball player. And it really can do things to help him get his confidence back. Did he get his confidence back in Woodford? Yes, somewhat. But still, it's tough going all the way back from Woodward at 150 to this Breeders' Cup Classic, which is pretty toughly contested, I gotta say. Pretty toughly contested. Not sure the Tappet Trice has the speed for it. Number 11. Everybody's favorite horse. This horse, I didn't look up the odds or the ratings or anything, but he's probably second place for in ratings for 3-year-old of the year, if not first to some people. And he hasn't gotten a win since the Bluegrass Stakes. Who is that? Sierra Leone. People love this horse. His father, gun runner, won the Breeders' Cup Classic. So I know they're going to use that as a reason for it. Got Candy Ride coming out of the other side, Malibu Moon on his mother's side. Flavian Prato, the jockey here, got his win in the Breeders' Cup Classic in 2022. Chad Brown, the trainer. Now, The other thing they're going to like about Sierra Leone, he is 12-1. Best odds you've seen in quite a while for a horse. I think probably should have been 12-1 all this time. Let's go back here. How do we get to the point to where Sierra Leone is so popular? Tyler Gaffleone rides this horse for a win in the Risen Star. Horse is shown to be a strong closer, which everyone likes when they're picking, not everyone, a lot of people like when they're picking Derby winners or potential Derby winners. We're coming up here into the Bluegrass Stakes. Horse gets another solid win in this Bluegrass Stakes here. Now, the Kentucky Derby, probably the most impressive race of his career. Horse runs a very impressive closing hard run to one of the most thrilling Kentucky Derby finishes in Kentucky Derby history, only to lose by a nose to Mystic Dan, who did not make this race. Didn't get the win. Tyler Gaffleone, unfortunately, was fired for losing the Kentucky Derby by a nose, which is, not to get off into a sub-tangent here, when you fire a coach, jockey, quarterback, whatever, for barely losing a championship, and sometimes in the case of the NFL, even winning the championship, that's like the dumbest thing you can do as a decision maker ever. You're gonna lose. That's never been successful long term. Sometimes you can carry, if like Jerry Jones, you get yourself a guy and kind of carry it through to the next season, like your Barry Switzer type of situation. But rarely do you want to take someone that was very good in the championship, wins the championship, or barely lost it, and then make a drastic change. You're throwing off the chemistry. You almost had the Kentucky Derby won. All you needed to do was come back out and run it back. What do? They switch it up to Flavien Prat. Since they switched to Flavien Prat, third in the Belmont, 1 length off. Second in the Jim Dandy, 1 length off. Third in the Travers, 1 length off. He has underperformed Tyler Gaffleone all 3 times, the past 3 times he's been on this horse. Why? In the name of why in the name of Jerry Bailey would you not make a switch back to the better jockey? Obviously, Tyler Gaffleone's better. Obviously, you could have got him for this race. They're stubborn, though. And people, Flavien Prat, okay, yeah, I call him Flavien Prat because he wrongfully contested the Kentucky Derby, which he should not have done. Cost the true winner maximum security the win. Caused a big stink in the height of cancel culture over nothing. So he'll forever have that stain. And he's not a real Kentucky Derby winner because he did not cross the finish line first. However, he has since gone on to do some impressive things in horse racing, so I will always recognize his talent. However, he has not outperformed Tyler Gaffleone aboard Sierra Leone. And Chad Brown, you need to make a switch. You need to make a change. It's time to put Gaffleone back aboard. You're going back to Pratt. I don't think it's going to work. Now, this is the race you want when you're looking at the pace, because when you have a pace that's really hot, most of the time only one horse makes it out of that hot pace and the rest of them fall apart. And then it's right for the closers to come in and close hard for a second or a third or maybe even to get a win. So that's kind of what a horse like Sierra Leone wants, which they thought was going to happen in the Derby, kind of put it together, almost put it together, but didn't. So you got that opportunity again. We'll Will he be able to put it together? I don't know. Once again, it's not the Kentucky Derby. It's not 20 horses, but it is 13. It's not going to be easy to weave it, bob and weave his way through here. So we'll see if Pratt can put it together without claiming foul to be able to get the win. Number 12, Arthur's Ride, a very interesting 4-year-old. I didn't have time to track down the entire horse's history as to why the horse ran 2 races as a 2-year-old, ran 1 race as a 3-year-old, and then didn't run again until a 4-year-old. Missed the whole Derby trail. I don't know whether he was sick or in. I don't know. I'm sure somebody, if you know what happened, drop it in the comments section for me. I wish I had time to get the story on that, but this video is already coming out late enough as it is. Arthur's Ride. After missing the boat here, and it is a 2 or as a 3-year-old, he comes back a 9th place here, going back 4 races, 23 lengths off at Saratoga. Not impressive, right? The thing is, this horse puts together this 12-length win in an optional claimer at Saratoga with a 2-minute flat time. Now, let me tell you something about Saratoga. When you're talking about running at your, call them undercard races, your optional claimers, your allowances, the toughest races are at Saratoga and at Keeneland. And why is that? It's because the money. When they're running Keeneland, it's at a time when you've got the 2-year-olds coming up and you've got all the chic money and blah, blah, blah there. And the money there, it causes them to put the top jockeys all end up there. Likewise, in the summertime in New York, it's the ideal time and the ideal weather, and you get all the New York money and that floods to Saratoga in the summertime, so thus you get all the best jockeys. So once you have all these good jockeys on the meet, those are very tough meets to run. You'll see jockeys like a Rosario or a Velasquez, who normally will bust out to 20%, 22%, 24%, 25% win percentage at Saratoga or at some other track normally, but then they'll go to Saratoga or Keeneland, and a guy like Ortiz or one of these guys, they'll have a 14% win percentage, a 12% when they're up there, because the jockeys are so tough and the horses are so evenly matched. So that being said, Saratoga's tough. That's a great win. I classified that as a very good win. Next out, he comes here with this win in the Whitney at Saratoga. 9 furlongs, mile and eighth, 148. Flat, even time. Another solid even time win. You're putting that up against top money competition. And then he comes out in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. Kind of lays an egg. 5th place, 9th, beaten by Highland Falls and Pyrenees. And what happened? It's what I was just saying. Junior Alvarado got out there. Jockey, by the way, probably missed that. Junior Alvarado, the jockey. Bill Mott, the trainer. He did not take this horse to the lead that he needs. This horse likes to run up front. He's bust out a couple 44-second opening half miles in mile races. 46-second opening half miles. This horse, I got him in an even time rating. You see him he did it at Saratoga. You look at the workouts, he had a 49 handle, he throw it away. Last one out, a 1 minute breezing. No, that's not great, but this horse has been solid. He's showing solid even running time. You look at this breeding. you look at the breeding on this horse. Sired by Tappet, a pulpit horse. His mother's father is Point Given. Point Given, Triple Crown near miss. After faltering in the Kentucky Derby, they get it together for a Preakness and Belmont win. So you're looking at very strong breeding for this horse. Junior Alvarado, no. No, he's not that guy that you necessarily want for this kind of race. However, Bill Mott, the trainer, got to win Breeders' Cup Classic, 2011 Drosselmeyer, 1995 Cigar with Jerry Bailey aboard. I like this horse. I think he's probably going to be on the lead. I think he's going to force the lead. The problem is, and if they do any kind of film watching, I don't care what sport you play, kids, watch film. You got to run after action reports. I don't care what you're doing in combat. If you're in sports, if you're doing a meeting, if you're doing a PowerPoint presentation, you got to do some sort of an analysis. You don't want to focus solely on the past, no. But you definitely have to go back and do some analysis and then use that to adjust your strategy going forward. That is how you put together winning strategies, my friends. Hopefully they took a look at this, and I think they most likely did going into the Breeders' Cup Classic, $7 million race. They took a look at their mistake here in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. They realized they abandoned their winning strategy, and I expect him to come back to it. I expect him to push the pace and get the lead in this race, and I do think that if he pushes that magic 46-second opening half, I think he should be able to come away with the win. Will he be able to do it? I don't know. Junior Alvarado, he's only got a 14% win percentage this year, 14% on the year. That's what we're counting on. That's what you're counting on if you're looking for him. 15-1 odds is decent money, but more often than not, these horses don't hold on for the win. They fall apart. That's the reality of it. More often than not, when you have a very fast pace, the winner comes from off the pace. So that's going to favor your Sierra Leones. Moving on to the 13, Newgate. Into Mischief horse here, 20-1 morning odds. Frankie Dettori, international jockey with a win in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Now we must note, that win was 2008 Ravens Pass. He got that win on an artificial surface. That is when the stupid Americans that decided that we're going to run our championship dirt races on artificial surfaces because of some... Once again, this fake science gets on my nerves where we get these people that come in and we decided that this thing is safer. And so they decided to put all these artificial surfaces all over the place, replacing classic dirt races with artificial surface races. And it's a completely different surface. The horses perform completely different on that, and they didn't learn their lesson until Ravens Pass won the Breeders' Cup Classic, and that was 2008. Frankie Dettori got the win, and after that they started switching these races back and switching these surfaces back to dirt surfaces like they should be in America. Artificial surfaces are fine, nothing against them, but have artificial surface races and have artificial surface horses that like the artificial surface, fine. If you want to have a horse that runs back and forth and cross surface, fine. But do not run dirt races on artificial surface and call them the same thing. Because it's not. It's just not. You're lying to the people when you do that. And enough of that. So they've learned their lesson with that. Frankie Dettori, however, is back. Bob Baffert, speaking of cancel culture, Bob Baffert back here. He is the all-time leading winner of the Breeders' Cup Classic. Win in 2020 with Authentic. Win in 2016 Arrowgate. 2015 American Pharoah. 2014 Bayern. Three-peat in this. That may never be done again. Three-peat in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Bob Baffert did it. American Pharoah coming through with something else that may never be done, busting out the Triple Crown, then coming and getting the Haskell, and then he didn't bring it home with the Travers, but he did get the Breeders' Cup Classic. Incredible career for that horse. Incredible career for Baffert. Say what you must about him. He's got lots of wins under his belt. He's looking for another one here. But this time I think he's going to need a little luck. This horse, Newgate, third last out in the California Crown. Decent time, 148. Johnny Velasquez read him there. Third by a neck. Before that, ninth in the Dubai World Cup. A win in the Santa Anita Handicap. Before that, Detroit was riding him in that as well. He was second in the Penn Saint Pascal. A 58-second handily breeding time. Like I said, I don't usually like these handily breeding times, but 58 seconds is that's good. That registers to me. That comes out as 1 minute breeding. So Newgate, you do gotta like the times he's run with. However, not quite so sure he's going to have the speed. You like to see Baffert back in here. I don't like to see people kicked out. He's getting it back together. This isn't necessarily the horse for him, I don't think, though. 20-1 odds, that's probably he's going to be around in there because the Baffert name's going to keep people on it. But this is tough competition. Tough competition for Newgate. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it done. Because of this pace. And let's get into this pace here. Wow. I'm looking at an opening half mile. I think it's going to have to be in the low or the high 45s. Why is that? I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 front runners in this race. 7 front runners in the race. I think Mixto and we're going to be looking at Arthur's Ride. Probably going to battle it out for the lead. Arthur's Ride, I think, is going to get it because he likes it. Then it's going to be a lot of horses pushing harder than they probably should to hang in there. I think we're going to be looking at City of Troy in there. We're going to be looking at, like I said, Mixto is going to be riding right off of that Dermasoda Gake. We're looking at Ushba Tesoro. We're going to be looking at Pyrenees. We're going to be looking at Fierceness. I'm saying right in there. And you know what happens when they do that? They choke the horses. The horses want to go. They all feel like it's a sprint. They're trying to tell the horse, no, it's not a sprint. Hang on. And they're going to end up choking these horses out, I think. And it's going to be to the benefit of these horses, I think, coming from off the pace. You're going to have a Forever Young coming off the pace. We're going to have Highland Falls coming off the pace. We're going to have Sierra Leone. We're going to have Senor Buscador coming off the pace. Tapit Trice coming off the pace. And Newgate coming off the pace. As they start to head towards home, we're clearly going to see Fierceness, and we're going to see City of Troy break free from that pack there and start to head down after Arthur's Ride. However, I don't think either one of them catch him. I think Arthur's Ride kind of hangs in there for the battle. Those two horses hang in, but they're going to find that they don't have enough gas. They're going to find they don't have enough gas, and we're going to see a lot of these horses coming in from the outside. chasing down this leader, and we are going to see everybody's favorites, Sierra Leone in there. I think we are definitely going to see Forever Young in there. We are going to see Highland Falls in there running it down, and we're going to see Senior Buscador running it down. It's going to be a tight one. I think it's going to be very exciting coming into that last half of a furlong. But I do think that Arthur's Ride will have burned enough distance between them to come away with the win, giving Junior Alvarado a win in the Breeders' Cup Classic, giving Bill Mott another Breeders' Cup Classic win, giving him 3. And I think Arthur's Ride, a horse that missed out on a lot of quality races in his career, will come out and get Horse of the Year off of this win. This horse has what you want to see in a front runner. They were off in that last race out. I think they will tighten that up. That's what they're going to need to do. Hopefully somebody associated with that team sees this. I know they're dropping it late, but hey, it is what it is. Arthur's Ride, I think he's going to be able to get out there. You like this breeding, the tap it with the point given in there. The pulpit point given grandfathers, that is very, 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 very strong. I mean, you have near miss Triple Crown breeding in there with the AP Indy and the point given. So that's almost like having 2 Triple Crown horses in there in the breeding. Breeders' Cup Classic quality in there in the breeding. So we are. I'm looking for Arthur's Ride. This is up to Junior Alvarado. Realizing putting it all on him, and hey, it's on you, buddy. Junior Alvarado has got to get it done for me, but I think he's going to be able to get it done because I think this horse has got what it takes to be able to get this win. Second place, I've got everyone's favorite horse, Sierra Leone, Flavien Prat, running in, but I think he's going to be short. Once again, I think Flavien Prat runs 1 length off second place behind Arthur's Ride in the Breeders' Cup Classic here. Third, I've got the 5. Senior Buscador, Todd Fincher, Joel Rosario. I told you I like this Todd Fincher, and I think we're going to keep an eye on Todd Fincher because I'm looking for Todd Fincher to be making some noise and making us some money in the future because the odds are going to be low on this guy until his name gets more out there, and that's where you really make the wins is you get these guys before they get to be household names, and he's got such a solid record. I imagine we're going to be seeing much more Todd Fincher. So I like the Senior Buscador here running 3rd and 4th place. I'm going with the 1. Forever Young. This horse has always been strong. Closing down in that Kentucky Derby, brought Japan that close to win the Kentucky Derby win, but wasn't able to get it done. Very strong, resilient horse. I expect to be strong and resilient in this one to be able, but he's going to run 4th. I think he's going to be close, maybe within 2 lengths of that lead, but I think he is going to run 4th. Final time in this one, I think the pace since I got the opening half at 45-4, I'm saying that they're probably going to have to do the final time is probably going to be somewhere around a 159 3/5. Can he pull that off? Probably if he's pushed to it. 159 3. Arthur's Ride. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Thank you all for watching. Give me your picks, please. A top 4 I like to see. I like to see what people kind of think with that top 4. Thanks for watching, and I will see you after the race unless there's some sort of a change in here. I will see you after the race.